Taken by Jourdain. Good special teams play inside the 15. Nice start for the Denver Broncos. That's Ronnie Bradford, number 23, who made the tackle. Jim Kelly off the knee surgery. Last season led the league in percentage passing, 64%.
And he said the key to this game is make sure we get Steve Atwater blocked. If we can block him, we have a chance of running the football.
Backs in the eye, Thurman Thomas the deep back, Gardner is the fullback, and Andre Reed is in motion. They'll toss it to Thurman Thomas. He gets a little bit of a brush block from Gardner then. Good defensive pursuit. Stops him at the 16-yard line. Buffalo opens with Reed and Copeland at the wide receivers. A lot of pressure on Lonnie Johnson at tight end. Thomas and Gardner in the backfield. And the offensive line, we will be watching number 79, the rookie Brown, all night. Corbin Lucina, number 68, and John Fina are the tackles. Second down, 7. Kent Hull over the ball at center. Kelly left flat behind the intended receiver, Thurman Thomas. It was tipped. Defensively for Denver, this was a team that was dead last against the pass in the NFL last year. They have made a ton of changes. Williams, the new guys are James Jones and Michael Dean Perry. Simon Fletcher returns at end. Elijah Alexander returns as a starting linebacker. Dante Jones and Britt Hager are new. And in the secondary, which was porous, Ray Crockett, Lionel Washington, Tyrone Braxton, and Steve Atwater. Bill Brooks comes in as a third wide receiver. And there's some confusion over the spot of the ball, so they'll start the game clock again. 25 seconds after the administrative stoppage. 3rd and 7. Four-man rush. Williams getting a little pressure. The pass across the middle is incomplete. Dan Williams with the pressure. It was intended for Carwell Gardner and Britt Hager and Elijah Alexander.
Well, the first part of the test has been answered for this Denver defense. I mean, they were just awful on defense a year ago. As you mentioned, 28th in the league. And they do their job. And the key thing is they got some pressure on Jim Kelly, got the hands up, and deflected a ball as well.
Chris Moore is on to punt on 4th down. Glenn Milburn is back to return it. He's one of the better ones. That's nice and high by Moore. Milburn, no fair catch. He did call fair catch, and he gets the ball at the 45-yard line. So the Denver Broncos take over after the 37-yard punt. John Elway starting his 13th season, his 13th opener. He is 8-4 in season opening games, and that has significance.
Yeah, they actually get to the playoffs 7 of those 8 years when they won that opening day game, Vern. But the thing about him, he has 15 scripted plays, and he was saying to us this week, it allows me to get into the flow of the game, the 15 scripted plays.
That's a carryover from the old 49er days, of course, with Walsh. Elway under his center, Tom Nalen. The rookie Terrell Davis starts at the tailback spot. Elway to throw on 1st down. Bernstein, good block. They go deep for Sharp. Shannon Sharp beat the linebacker, and it's a huge gain to the 6. They picked on Marlo Perry, who's getting his first start tonight. Number 58. And Shannon Sharp at the receiving end of a 49-yard gain.
This is the matchup that they like. They like Shannon Sharp, the tight end, against a linebacker, and you're going to see this a lot tonight. The Broncos are going to work the tight end, and they're going to work their backs downfield because of man-for-man defense. That is a mismatch, and Denver will kill them if they continue to do that. It was Perry against Shannon Sharp.
49-yard gain, 1st and goal at the 6. Inside handoff to the rookie Terrell Davis, a 6th-round draft choice out of Georgia. Terrell Davis tonight becomes the first rookie running back to start for the Denver Broncos on opening day since Floyd Little in 1967.
And he didn't even know who Floyd Little was. But this is your opening drive on the first game of the season. This is exactly how you want it to go. I mean, your defense did their job. You had a big play to your tight end. Now you're right down there inside the 10.
Second down and goal from the 4. Opening drive for the Broncos. Pritchard in motion. Elway flips it out for Terrell Davis. Good coverage. And that was Jeff Burris, number 22, the defensive back, who was right there. Pass was also, Pat, I think, a little behind Davis.
Yeah, it was. And here in a third down situation, Vern, again, I think this is where Shannon Sharpe becomes a very particularly good and effective receiver. Now, Elway does like to use his cadence to draw guys off on third downs and get a free play. So McCaffrey's one big, tall receiver, and then you got Shannon Sharpe.
Three-step drop. Elway, pressure. Rolls right. He was sacked 55 times last year. Fires it incomplete in the end zone. It was intended for Bernstein. Fourth down.
He was looking for Ed McCaffrey. And good coverage by the Bills. The Bills have come out and played a lot of man-for-man in this opening season. You're going to see, he first looks left to McCaffrey. He is taken away. Then Elway can always buy a second chance. He's been doing this for 13 years now. And a guy comes open quickly. Yeah, too many guys that are actually in the same area. Otherwise, that may have been a touchdown.
Jason Elam on to try the extra point. Tom Ruan will hold. Here's Elam. And a field goal rather than the extra point.
Strong safeties, and we saw evidence of that in the first series with the big play to Sharpe.
Jason Elam will kick off for the second time. This one is going to be taken by Derek Holmes at the goal line. And the rookie running back gets it out to the 20 and is knocked down at the 23. So a little better field position for Jim Kelly and the Bills. Derek Holmes, number 44. And here comes Jim Kelly, second offensive set now for the Buffalo Bills.
And Vern, over the last 4 or 5 years, when the Buffalo Bills have really been good on offense is when they've got Thurman Thomas going early in the running game. He sets up everything else in their offense, but when they struggle with him early on the run, they seem to struggle offensively.
He'll dot the I on first down and 10. Reed and Copeland are the wide receivers. Andre Reed in motion. Defense rotates. Atwater goes over. Here's the flip into the back. And Thurman Thomas scoots around the left side and is knocked out of bounds. Brett Hager doing the defensive job, number 54.
And they're going to use him more as a receiver this year. Marv Levy was saying to us yesterday that they felt he's taken too much punishment as a runner. He's averaged over 300 carries a season, I think, over the last 4 years. So they want to spread him out, use him as a wide receiver some, throw more balls to him, and maybe not hand him the ball as much this year.
His yardage each season has decreased in the last 3 years from a high of 1487 in 92 to barely over 1,000 last year. Second down and 8. 3-0 Denver leads. No blitz. Thomas scoots through a little bit of a hole, but they did not block Atwater.
And there's Steve Atwater. Remember we said Jim Kelly felt that they had to block Steve Atwater. Steve Atwater is the free safety, but he plays that position much like a linebacker. Now, if he's up there at the line of scrimmage and tackling Thurman Thomas that close to the line of scrimmage, you have to get him out of there. You have to throw something behind him, Vern, to allow Thurman Thomas to run inside. Broncos
have made a defensive change now. James Jones is out on third down. Shane Dronette, number 99, a former starter, comes in. Cornerbacks played loose on third down out of the shotgun. Kelly across the middle. The hit by Atwater, but the catch by Copeland. Dandy grab by a guy who's really under the spotlight tonight.
Yeah, Russell Copeland, I think, is one of the keys to this Buffalo season. And when you play against Denver, you're going to be trespassing in Steve Atwater's territory from time to time. And he takes it seriously when you do. Now, he punished a running back to play earlier. This time he punishes Russell Copeland. 13-yard game. That's a big play for Copeland.
On first down, they hand it to Thomas, and he squirts right up the middle. Got some great blocks in the middle led by Kent Hull. And that's a gain of 9 yards out to the 48-yard line.
But Vern, you see just what the pass completion Russell Copeland does. That gets Atwater out of there a little bit and allows Thurman Thomas to use his patient running style.
10:20 to go in the opening quarter. 3-0, and the Bills near midfield. That was a 10-yard gain. It's 1st and 10. And they hand it left side. Thurman Thomas this time knocked down by James Jones, who's back in the lineup on the first down play, number 93. Jones, one of the 2 early acquisitions in the free agent market. He came here with Michael Dean Perry from Cleveland. It was almost like a recruiting visit from college.
That's right.
Michael Shanahan took the 2 of them to a basketball game and said, look, it's a nice lifestyle. We got other sports. They signed.
And they're doing a pretty good job so far. And James Jones is one of those guys that just kind of anchors the middle. He's a big old nose tackle at 290, and he sucks up a lot of blocks.
Both played with Cleveland last few years. Here comes the corner blitz. Atwater coming, Thomas with the block. The pass complete, good for the first down. Second catch for Russell Copeland.
And what did Lionel Washington, the corner for Denver, say to us yesterday? He said, I don't want Russell Copeland to get off to a good start. We've seen Atwater close to the line of scrimmage playing linebacker. We've seen him in the passing game. He comes off the corner. He doesn't get there in the time. Look who picks him up, Thurman Thomas. But Russell Copeland is off to the kind of start that Lionel Washington didn't want. He didn't want him to have the confidence because this is his first start.
Russell Copeland is starting in place of the departed Don Beebe. Play action. Kelly looking left, now looks down the middle, goes deep for Andre Reed. Touchdown, Buffalo. Oh, what a beautifully conceived play.
Well, he had them both open. You're right. It was beautifully conceived. He had Andre Reed open, and he had Russell Copeland open for both of them for touchdowns. And that takes the crowd out of it very early. Took them 2 drives to do it, but this can be an explosive offensive team. One of the question marks was Russell Copeland, but he has done it on this drive.
Andre Reed got a big smile out of Marv Levy. Reed, fresh from his best year ever, and he's had a ton of them, 7 straight Pro Bowls. 90 catches a year ago. His first in 95 goes for a touchdown. Now Steve Christie, out of Chris Moore's hold, will try the extra point. It's up and it's good. And congratulations from the 2, because Moore is holding in a spot. The seats are filled with quiet folks right now because the Broncos have fallen behind 7-3. Steve Christie is on to kick off, and the rookie Terrell Davis from San Diego, California, Long Beach State, and Georgia will return it. Davis, touchback, comes out to the 20. And let's go back and take a look at that Jim Kelly, Andre Reed touchdown.
Well, Vern, so often what happens in the NFL, the big play is...
All of which leads to a 7-3 Buffalo lead. John Elway back at quarterback. Rod Bernstein falls on it. Let's check the men behind John Elway. We mentioned the rookie Terrell Davis. Ed McCaffrey will start tonight for Anthony Miller, the Fleet wide receiver who's out with an injured hamstring. Mike Pritchard on the other side, Shannon Sharp and Bernstein. And the offensive line, they went heavy in the free agent market this year. Schlereth came in, Bodrick Thompson at right tackle, but the real matchup that we want to see is Gary Zimmerman against Bruce Smith. Ryan Habib also gets a start. They load up the wide receivers to the right side. 3 of them out there. Second down and 12. Draw play, Bernstein. And Rod Bernstein almost sacked. He almost throws it away, or rather into the arms of Bryce Pop, number 95.
And we said we wanted to follow the matchup with Bruce Smith and Gary Zimmerman. That round goes to Bruce Smith. He caused John Elway to step up into the pocket. Now, he's got an explosive first couple of steps. And you see, Zimmerman, you talk about defensive backs being on an island. He's on an island there. He forces Elway to step up. That disrupted the rhythm of the pass and caused the incompletion, nearly the interception.
Here's the punt from Tom Ruin. Jeff Burris waits for it, has it at the 23. And a modest return out to the 29. A fumble. Loose ball recovered by...
A lot of Broncos are pointing, no officials are yet.
Yes.
It always seems to happen, you know?
Yeah, and it becomes a rugby scrum. They're still unraveling the bodies. And there seems to be no joy among the Broncos. Red Cashin is our referee tonight. He's called time with Buffalo leading 7-3. We're midway through the first quarter. A little warm here. This in 1995. They've actually tried to start the wave here.
I thought that's passé, isn't it? At this
Well,
point?
things are laid back in my home state now, but you know, somebody hadn't gotten the word. First down and 10. Thomas, and they went for the ball. Didn't get the ball, but got him at the 30-yard line. Marv Levy said he's going to go to the two-back offense because he feels Thurman Thomas has just been carrying the ball too much of the workload. And that'll, I think you said a while ago, Pat, make him much more active in the passing game.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, the cumulative effect of all the hits you take over a 7-year career, this is now his 8th season, I mean, it can have an effect. It can slow you down. It does slow you down.
Second down and 8, 7-3, Buffalo leads. Backs are split, Kelly back. Good protection. Goes deep, Russell Copeland, and Tim Houck, number 37, in as a nickel, came flying. Tim Houck, who is another free agent acquisition, he came over from Green Bay.
Well, we said we were going to watch Reuben Brown and Michael Dean Perry as well, the rookie against the veteran. Number 95 is Michael Dean Perry. He's going to get some help there with Kent Hall. And that's the thing you have to do. Generally, you're going to have to double team Michael Dean Perry. And the beneficiary of that for the Bronco defense will be Simon Fletcher, who's been a great pass rusher for a long time here in Denver.
3rd and 8. Shotgun. Bill Brooks in as a third wideout. Flags are down. This may be... Whoops. Oh, boy, they went... That's always frightening, isn't it?
It is. And Dan Williams actually got blocked into Jim.
Fletcher dances across and gets back. Kelly pumps and goes deep. Incomplete. Coverage from Lionel Washington. Now in his 13th year, he came here as an unrestricted free agent from the Raiders.
Lionel Washington he is still fast enough in his 13th year to play. But you see how smart, you see him looking in, he's reading the pattern and reading the quarterback. And as soon as he sees the quarterback step up to throw, gives a little jersey tug, and then gets in position to make a perfect play, because that was a great throw and a good defensive play.
Here's the high punt from Chris Moore and the fair catch called by Glenn Milburn at the 26-yard line. We have 5 minutes and 58 seconds remaining in the opening stanza from Mile High. Handed off. Davis comes to the left side. McElroy leading the way.
You know, we were talking to John Elway about number 30, Terrell Davis, and he said, you know, this guy is a mature player. He doesn't act like a rookie. He's not awestruck. He says he's smart. Everything we have asked of him, he's been able to do it. He blocks, he catches, he's a good runner. And Mike Shanahan says he plays special teams like a defensive player. I mean, he makes powerful tackles.
Second down and 7, back split. Richard goes in motion. Draw play to Davis. Bangs it over right guard, and that's going to be close for a first down at the 37. Mark Maddox, number 55, made the tackle. Well, he had a tough senior season at Georgia, bothered by a hamstring. He had gone there after Long Beach State gave up the sport 5 games into his first year. And told us he wasn't really disappointed with the 6th-round draft pick. His agent had told him he'd be a 2nd-round pick. He thought he might not get drafted at all.
No, he certainly has made the most of his opportunity.
Glenn Milburn is in as a wide receiver now. Bernstein stays in and gets the handoff, and a first down run over left guard. Moves him out to the 43-yard line.
What John Elway has always lacked in his career here in Denver is kind of a runner that he can depend upon. And now they're hoping Terrell Davis can be that guy. And you're going to mix in some Rod Bernstein. You mentioned Glenn Milburn. He will be a featured guy. He'll be more of a receiver. But if they can get that running game going with Terrell Davis and Rod Bernstein, I mean, they have a lot of weapons on offense when they get Anthony Miller back from his injury, Mike Pritchard, and Shannon Sharp. They can be as explosive as any team in the AFC.
Second down and 6. Shannon Sharp in motion, followed by Henry Jones. They slip the ball to Terrell Davis, and he in turn is knocked backwards after a moderate gain.
Here's one of those third down situations there where Elway likes to use his count, try to get a free down. And, of course, Bruce Smith was talking to us about it yesterday. He's very aware of him changing up his count, using his hard count. But this is also, there's Gary Kubiak, the offensive coordinator. But here's where you like the one-on-one matchups again with Sharp and your backs. Maybe Rod Bernstein and Sharp. They hit for the big play with Sharp earlier.
Let's see if Elway goes to the hard count now. 3rd and 3. Nope. There's going to be a holding call. And it'll be the option of the Buffalo Bills because John is sacked at the 40-yard line. First sack tonight.
Boy, that is good coverage. That was a coverage sack because he had a lot of time to get rid of that ball. Is the holding call to decline it and punt it.
Yeah, one of the veterans acquired by this team for just that sort of pass rush gets his first sack in Buffalo. Jim Jeffcoat, #1 draft pick of the Dallas Cowboys in 1983.
Everybody was covered downfield, but number 77 right there in the middle of the screen, he just blows right by, gets some help from Cornelius Bennett, and Jeffcoat, and a pop gets a piece of him as well. But that was good coverage by Smith and Burris in the backfield and Henry Jones.
Tom Ruin is on to punt on 4th down. 3:25 to go in the first quarter of play. 7-3 Buffalo, and they're about to get it back. Here's Jeff Burris. He comes up and grabs it at the 19. Good block to free him for a moment. And he counterpunches out to the 29-yard line. Burris, a #1 draft pick, who's a starter in the defensive secondary for the Buffalo Bills. Well, first Sunday of the season. Oakland wins in their first home game in 13 years. Kansas City won big. New England at the end of the game.
Yeah. Chris Martin, the rookie, ran for over 100 yards.
And Miami rolled over the Jets 52-14. Now Marv Levy's upset about something. There's a flag that was dropped on the far side.
Well, they certainly know Red Cashin's name, don't they?
That's a first down.
Yeah, I'm waiting to hear that one.
Line judge Charles Stewart. Now, somehow I don't think Marv's going to win this conversation or win this argument.
Come on, Red. Here we go.
Okay. Now we're going to check and see who it was.
Yeah.
Oh, they're going back a long way.
Personal foul, unnecessary roughness on the receivers. The block was out of bounds. Be a 15-yard penalty. First down and 10.
Yeah, the key thing there, though, is a 1st and 10, not a 1st and 25.
Now let's go back and take a look at that block that was judged to be out of bounds. Rod Smith is the recipient of the block.
He gets pushed out there. And he's fighting his way back in. Well, there's no illegal block there that I've seen so far.
I don't know. And they didn't tell us who it
That was not on Rod Smith.
No. Here's Kelly to Thomas. High steps and gets a couple. Thurman Thomas already with his 6th carry. 7-3 Buffalo leads it. The touchdown came on a 34-yard pass from Jim Kelly to Andre Reed.
When you think about this Buffalo team and what they have gone through, 4 Super Bowl losses, and they followed up with a 7-9 season a year ago. They've lost 19 free agents over the past 2 years. This, other than the key stars, and they still have some great ones, this is really a new team, particularly defensively.
2nd and 8. Kelly got a rush, got rid of it. Thurman Thomas has it. And he spilled at the 20-yard line. Good job by Kelly. Michael Dean Perry was right there. Number 95 working against the rookie, Brown.
You got Michael Dean Perry, number 95, on the rookie, Reuben Brown, number 95. Now, this is kind of a power rush, but he's a gap player. He's not going to run through guys, but he's going to run through your gaps. And if you don't get your hands on him quickly, he's going to hit your quarterback like that a lot. I mean, he's hard to miss. He's 285 pounds. You can't have a no-hitter. You got to get your hands on him.
Matador offense.
Yeah.
3rd and 3. Bill Brooks in as the 3rd wideout. Thomas goes in motion near side. No blitz. Kelly in trouble. Incomplete pass. Buffalo punts.
Boy, did Ray Crockett, number 39, do a great job. I think it was on Bill Brooks. I mean, he was looking for Bill Brooks, Jim Kelly was. And Ray Crockett, now playing left corner. You're going to see it started with pretty good protection. They take care of Michael Dean Perry. That time, Reuben Brown does a good job. And Ray Crockett just jammed him and would not let him inside. It's a heck of a play by Crockett.
Here's the punt by Chris Moore, nice and high. Boy, that one rides the sky. Milburn back at the 24, has a chance to return it. Has a chance for a big return. Cut down at the 47. Tony Klein, number 88, rookie tight end, made the tackle. 7-3 our score with 1:28 to go opening quarter. Next Sunday, we begin at 7.
I thought Arizona, after we saw them a couple weeks ago, would dominate on defense.
And we saw Philadelphia and thought they'd do well.
What do we?
Here's Elway, Shannon Sharp. Big play.
Yeah, the way this West Coast offense and Mike Shanahan uses the tight end position is really something fun to watch, I think. You know, the first player early in that first series, they line him up as the tight end. This time, you'll see number 84 in motion. He is the man in motion right here. And then Elway, it looks like it's a kind of a middle screen, but there's no real screen blockers before. It's a little delay pass. And the 49ers ran these kind of subtle little plays with great success a year ago, and they're using Shannon Sharp here in this game the same way.
And it's a first down and 10 right now after that gain of 15. Elway, blitz coming. He goes across the middle. Shannon Sharp can't hang on. It's an incomplete pass. Yep.
Yeah, he had him, and he knows it. I mean, when Denver's had success in this game, though, it has been Shannon Sharp working in the middle of the field and working against linebackers. And anyway, what did Shannon say to us a couple of days ago? In this offense, he says, I can catch 100 passes or more.
Yeah, he was almost salivating and smiling at the same time, which is a weird juxtaposition of things one does anatomically.
There you go.
But he was talking about his health. He's got bad ankles and said if he could stay healthy, there's no way he doesn't catch 100, which would equal his brother Sterling's annual output in Green Bay. Used to be. Second down and 10. Elway has to get rid of it early. No flag. Mike Pritchard wanted the flag on Maddox. I really thought he should have gotten one.
I want to tell you, though, there goes a late flag there. I think they're going to call something on Mike Pritchard. It started, though, with Bruce Smith again against Gary Zimmerman. Remember a play earlier, he came upfield on Zimmerman outside. This time, he comes inside with a little swim move. He set that move up with an outside rush a couple of plays earlier, and then he lets John Elway have it.
Well, Pritchard was coming across the middle. Maddox bumped him. There was no flag. And then, obviously, Mike Pritchard got a little argumentative.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 81, 15 yards. After the pass was incomplete, third down. Loss of down.
Third down. It's a loss of down.
Yeah, you know, the penalty was not on the play itself. He was grabbed. You're right. Maddox grabbed it. Should have been pass interference there. But the compounds a mistake. He gets up and screams at the official. Who knows what he said, but then they call it on Mike Pritchard. But he had a right to be angry.
Third and 25. 7-3 score. Last 40 seconds first quarter. Elway drills it. Pritchard, but that's short of the first down at the 34-yard line.
Yeah, but they should be in field goal range, though. They didn't get the first down, but they have an opportunity to put 3 on the board. Mike Shanahan, even though he's the head coach, he is still calling the plays.
John Elway looking over at the near side. Mike Shanahan responds. Not much of a breeze, really.
No. I think he's going to let it run out anyway.
So they'd rather kick to the south end. We've reached the end of one. Buffalo Stadium, and Tom Ruin will hold now for Jason Elam's attempt of 52 yards. Gets it up. Knocks it home. Nice start to 95. A 52-yard field goal for Jason Elam from Hawaii by way of Snellville, Georgia. That's a long round trip.
Big trip.
241 yards.
Now look what happened today.
Well, Terry Allen, 131. That's a nice start.
That is nice. Frank Reich had a big day today, although in a losing cause. And Michael Jackson, 157 yards in a losing effort.
Somebody could pass one of those marks tonight, I suppose. I doubt it, but
it's still available, still open, it's still possible.
We got 3 quarters to play. Yonel Jourdain. Alan Aldridge, part of the special teams coverage. So is Reggie Rivers, number 38, who made this team by the whiskers on his chin. And he's a really likable young man who's a multifaceted media giant. He writes a column for a local paper. He has a radio show. He co-authored Vance Johnson's biography. He's working on a novel.
Yeah, he's got a publicist, too.
And when he found out that he had made the roster this year, the first call came from his publicist.
Yeah. I guess we all need those from time to time, right?
I like his style. 1st and 10. Backs in the eye. Kelly. Incomplete. Intended for his tight end, Lonnie Johnson. There's a
story there. They're going to miss Pete Metzelaars. I believe Pete Metzelaars, caught 49 balls for the Bills last year, but they're really going to miss him, I think, in the running game. If you're going to run outside the NFL, you have to have a dominating tight end that can block, and Pete Metzelaars was that guy. And that's an unsettled position for Marv Levy at tight end. Lonnie Johnson has talent, but he's not a proven player. Metzelaars, by the way, caught the first touchdown in Carolina history today from Frank Reich, another former Bill.
A little buff to buff. 2nd and 10. Back split. That's Thurman Thomas again.
Even though Buffalo is leading this game 7-6, they still have not gotten a way to get Thurman Thomas really involved, certainly in the running game. And we said they're most difficult to stop when they get him going in that running game. He is a great stop and start and go sideways and backwards and never stopping kind of runner. Enough commas in that description?
John Fina is the injured player, the left tackle, number 70.
Remember, we talked about how Buffalo's a different team. Their starting tackles they've lost. Will Wolford a couple of years ago, House Ballard. So they, they've kind of reconfigured this team. Marv Levy has. You look at him. He looks like he actually understands the Federal Reserve System. I don't, but he looks like he does,
and can explain it.
Yeah.
Which is really frightening.
Yeah. It is.
I don't know that he likes us saying that about him. Here's Fina from Arizona. Corey Lucci is going to take his place, number 72.
You're going to watch his right arm, number 70.
Hyperextended elbow.
Right in the back of Thurman Thomas. Right in his shoulder pad. Oh. Now, these linemen, though, I tell you, these guys are tough guys. They kind of patch them up. They turn them up, put tape and aspirin on it, and they send them back in.
3rd and 9. 14-15 to go first half. Kelly out of the shotgun. Flags are down. So's Kelly. Elijah Alexander.
Yeah, he is not one of those new starters, Elijah Alexander, but playing a new position. They're playing him on the strong side. He is number 58. You're going to see him right here. And he's going to come off the corner, doesn't jam the tight end. They got him and Ray Crockett coming clean. Lee. It's a well-designed
lined up in the
blitz.
neutral zone. Number 95 on the defense, 5 yards, still 3rd down.
That's our man, Michael Dean Perry. He will jump offside sometimes. He'll line up in the neutral zone. It's feast or famine. You have to live with those kind of things with Michael Dean Perry, as well as the good plays. But they, they had a big sack there. That was look at the most penalized offsides guys last year. Bruce Smith and Michael Dean Perry. That's because they're so quick, and sometimes they guess on the snap count.
Well, that cost them the sack, and it gives Buffalo a 3rd and 4. Kelly got him again, threw it away. And Red Cashin, no indication of intentional grounding. They're going to say his knee was down. Jim Kelly's knee was on the ground when he threw the ball.
Yeah, Michael Dean Perry goes the long way this time. He can be a gap player, and this time he goes all the way on a stunt around Jeanette. He's got an explosive burst, a different type of player than Bruce Smith, but equally quick. And when he gets there, he always seems to make the play. Guys don't bounce off him.
Here's the punt for Chris Moore. Shanked it.
Oh, thank you very much. I love saying that.
Shortly. Surely it was.
Take advantage of the good field position, particularly when you're at home.
Davis and Bernstein behind Elway on first down. See if John might want to try and go for it all. Nope. They'll give it to the rookie running back, Terrell Davis, number 30. This is a town, Pat, I know you know this, that absolutely adores its Broncos. And here's Terrell Davis, who made the team as a 6th-round draft choice. Already he has been signed to write a weekly column for one of the papers, and he turned down a chance to host a Sunday night television show.
You know, that's my advice for rookie. Play. Don't write, don't talk, don't do those shows. Just play the game. Do it, prove yourself first before you start writing columns.
2nd and 7. Elway across the middle, dropped by Davis. Maddox was right behind him, but it was a catchable ball.
Yeah, again, those are the kind of matchups that Mike Shanahan said he wanted to have. A Terrell Davis against a linebacker like Maddox, Sharp against a strong safety or linebacker, and now we have Glenn Milburn in the game, who can be an instant mismatch. He, kind of runs like a hummingbird. He's all over the place.
Broncos haven't converted yet. Milburn, expect him to be the featured back here. And they use the West Coast offense, but they do employ the shotgun with it. Tom Nalen will snap it back. Blitz is coming. Denver picks it up, and here's the pass on the line. Mike Pritchard. First down. Oh, it's Shannon Sharp.
Yeah.
84 instead of 81.
The thing you like about Shannon Sharp, Vern, he is a strong guy, and real strong hands. He's number 84 again, and you get the ball around him. And this wasn't a terribly well-thrown pass, but he has such strong hands, he's going to be able to go down and get it. They tried to double-team him. Just get anywhere in his area. Good coverage there by Schultz, but the strong hand just sucks the ball up. There's no bobble passes by Shannon Sharp.
That's Milburn and McCaffrey wide to the left. Pritchard, bottom of your screen. Bernstein, the running back. 1st and 10. Rod Bernstein gets it. Longtime running back out of Texas A&M at San Diego, came over here a couple of years ago. He's just trying to stay healthy for a full season. He went out at the 3rd game last year, ACL, anterior cruciate ligament. Health has always been a problem for him.
Always been one of those guys who's had great potential, but as you see, he's never been able to play a full 16-game season. But he's had flashes. You always wonder if he could have stayed healthy, what kind of player he would have been. What kind of player would have been.
You're doing a good job of catching your English mistakes tonight.
All right. I use a lot of proper adverbs.
You're in mid-season form. 2nd down, 8. Oh, good job on Bruce Smith, or Bennett rather, coming from the outside. I think that was Zimmerman and Schlereth who went out to help on Bennett. He was coming around the end with speed.
Ed McCaffrey is going to be one of those kind of dependable receivers that Denver needs and that John Elway is going to look for on these kind of 3rd down situations. But I'll tell you, there was a heck of a tackle by Monty Brown, the linebacker, who took down Ed McCaffrey. They had the matchup they wanted, but a good play by Monty Brown. Again, using his snap count.
3rd and 4. Elway. Pritchard. 1st and goal, Denver.
Okay, Mike Pritchard's year ago was wiped out when he hurt his kidney, a laceration on the kidney. But this is a guy that can have a 100-catch season also, I think, for the Broncos if he stays healthy. And he is particularly good after the catch. Another one of those strong guys. You throw him a little 3 or 4 yard pass, you make a guy miss, you break a couple of tackles, and you have a 1st down inside the 10. Again, I saw Jerry Rice do it again for San Francisco. Caught a ball, a 4-yard pass, and turned it into a long touchdown.
Rack yards, run after the catch.
Yep.
Pritchard gets a rest. Rod Smith is in. Backs are split. Terrell Davis bounces off one into another, and he moves it down to the 4-yard line.
In the NFL today, in today's game, here's where you'd love to be able to run the football with some power. And that's still a big question mark for this Denver Bronco team and for Terrell Davis. They did it in the preseason, but now it really counts.
After a one-play rest, Bruce Smith comes back in. He and Plop will line up on the right side. Second down and goal from the 4. Elway in the pocket. Play action. Elway, runner pass. Drills it. Dropped. Oh, boy.
Well, just after we were extolling him, how the ball doesn't bounce out and bobble passes, that one, I think he was expecting the ball a little bit earlier in the play, but he still should have caught that ball. Again, sometimes the velocity and the speed of his passes shock you on the run. I mean, lots of guys can throw it hard, but not like that on the run. But that's a perfectly thrown ball in the numbers. Should have been a touchdown, and would have been a different game. And he was wide open on a play-action fake. Had McCaffrey on one side and Sharp underneath the goalpost.
Backs are split on 3rd and goal from the 4. Sharp in motion. Mark Schlereth moved at left guard.
I think Broderick Thompson did too.
Got a double dip. See if Denver comes. They are. Elway back. Here comes Smith. There's the pass caught by Davis. Dropped at the 2. Nice tackle in the open field by Marlon Kerner, who's one of the rookies, one of 8 rookie draft choices who made this club.
Yeah, new head coaches sometimes have to make unpopular decisions, but that's the one. Kick the field goal. And you're right, this was a good tackle by Kerner. They had the kind of play they wanted. They had a guy, Terrell Davis, who's a tough and a strong player, but a perfect tackle by Kerner to keep him at the end zone. But again, I was just mentioning about Mike Shanahan. This is the right decision for him to kick the field goal. It's down 7-6, still very early in this ballgame.
Jeff Robinson will snap it. Tom Ruin will hold it. Jason Elam for his 3rd field goal of the first half. And the Denver Broncos, who had a lead of 3-0 on their opening drive of the game, have reclaimed a lead. They're up 9-7 now.
Find him in the crowd.
I study the Federal Reserve.
There you go.
Down. Elam will kick off. Jourdain and Holmes wait to return it. This will be Yonel Jourdain at the 2-yard line. Ronnie Bradford makes the first contact, number 23. Reggie Rivers was also there. Now let's take a look at the Lee Sport scoreboard on this opening Sunday of the 1995 NFL season. San Diego loses to the Raiders, and Kansas City wins big on the road. Boy, it was a great day for road teams today, except for Cleveland. I didn't know that was the next one that's going to pop up, or for the Jets as far as that goes.
Yeah, watch out for Miami, though. They have a lot of weapons. How about Pelfrey? 5 field goals. He also punted in that game as well for Cincinnati.
That's the first Cincinnati win in September since '92. Houston over Jacksonville, 10-3. First down and 10, Buffalo. Gardner. They hand it off to Thomas. He slips and falls and squirts for a couple. That is the 8th carry for Thurman Thomas, but he has had only modest success. 24 yards, 3-yard.
Yeah, you know, when you watch Thurman Thomas, you know, his moves are nifty, but they're not brilliant. He doesn't overwhelm you with power and speed. He's always done it with creativity, with patience, and using his teammates, his blocks, setting up people. I don't think there's anybody in the league that sets up blocks better than Thurman Thomas.
Got a couple then, second down and 8. 9-7, Denver leads it midway through the second quarter. Kelly looks left, batted down. Mike Lodish might have gotten a hand up, or Dan Williams, number 90. It was Williams.
You know, if you can't get there and you push the pile back, the next best thing is to get your hands up. You know, you go 6'4" like Dan Williams does. At the bottom of the screen, number 90. He gets right into Fina. He's battling a bad angle and a perfectly timed jump by Williams. You know, battling that bad elbow, I mean. Those are the kind of power plays they expected from Dan Williams when they drafted with the first pick in '93.
First pick out of Toledo. It's 3rd down and 8. 3 wide receiver set. Kelly will go from the shotgun, but he has to call time. The play clock was down to 1. So the Bills burn one. 7:31 remaining in the first half of play. And the Denver Broncos lead it by a couple.
Another one of those 3rd down situations where Greg Robinson, the new defensive coordinator for the Denver Broncos, is hoping to be able to get some inside push with Michael Dean Perry and Shane Dronette and allow Simon Fletcher to come off the corner, where he has been awfully good for Denver over the last 10 years.
3rd and 8. Broncos have the nickel in. Randy Hilliard, the 5th defensive back. Here's Kelly across the middle. Caught by Reed. Good open field tackle. And that tackle is made by Ray Crockett. That is short of...
Ray's letting him know now. Bring in the punt team, Ray says. And that was a good tackle because Andre Reed is one strong receiver. You know, you love to see guys get excited. And it's an exciting time on opening day when you're playing at home.
Well, the Bills have been stymied offensively here the last quarter or so. They have a 34-yard touchdown. Kelly to Reed. Here's Chris Moore. This Moore to his liking. Milburn at the 15. Can't quite shake the tackle from Tom Tyndale, number 33. Well, they are missing Steve Tasker on special teams tonight. Out because of a pulled hamstring. He did make the trip, but he's not suited up.
And Damon Thomas, number 82, is taking his place, and they must think Tasker's still there because they still have 2 guys bullying them. But, you know, they got him down. Tasker never stayed down, I promise you, either.
We're going.
Richard Smith, the special teams coach of the Denver Broncos, was saying, hey, we had to set up a whole plan, special teams plan, for Steve Tasker. And he was delighted that he was not going to be playing tonight.
9-7 Denver leads it. 6:46 to go. First half. Corner blitz coming. Elway goes that direction. Shannon Sharp. That's a 9-yard gain after the 34. The tackle made by Mark Maddox, number 55.
Tell you, when Shannon Sharp has been open, he has been wide open. I mean, I really haven't seen close coverage on him yet tonight. I never understand why you don't jam him a little bit more at the line of scrimmage, but he gets off the line of scrimmage, and there isn't anyone near him.
That's a gain of 9. And it's 2nd down and 1. Terrell Davis joins Rod Bernstein in the backfield. Mike Pritchard in motion. They give it off to Bernstein, and he picks up a couple. That may be good enough to move the chains. Pat, you know, we think of the West Coast offense, the 49er offense, that's been exported. I love the offense du jour.
And even call it West Coast offense in Philadelphia.
Yeah, exactly.
Even west of Maine,
right.
The West Coast offense.
But how do you equate the role that Shannon Sharp plays with Brent Jones of the 49ers?
I think Shannon Sharp is probably a little bit more athletic, a guy that can use more downfield in the longer pass plays. We saw that early in this football game. And I think they're both very effective inside the 15.
1st and 10, Elway back. Rush coming from Bryce Popp. Elway throws it. And, oh, my goodness. Mike Pritchard couldn't get it because Jeff Burris was there to break up the play.
Wade Phillips has a new defense of philosophy here in Buffalo. That is play man for man. It's to blitz people. And number 22, Burris, this is his first year as a start. And he gets his hands up right in time, and you know, that's perfect timing. As soon as you see the receiver's hands go up, your hands go up, and you knock the ball away. That's as well as you can play it by Burris.
Wade Phillips, of course, coming back where he coached a total of 6 years. The last year, 2 years as the head coach. 2nd down and 10. Here's Bernstein on the sweep. Schlereth in front.
Yeah, that's a heck of a block by Mark Schlereth on Greg Evans. There he is, big old 69. You can't miss him. You know, Alex Gibbs, the offensive line coach, says, hey, this guy is an accountable guy. And if you can get a guard out there doing his thing, perfectly timed, too. Didn't rush it. Bernstein didn't rush it. Waited for the block by Schlereth. Gets right in the shoulder pads of Greg Evans. He follows the block, and you have a nice first down.
Bernstein with a gain of 18 yards off the Schlereth block. One of the Hogs signed as an unrestricted free agent this year. 1st and 10. And Allen snaps it back. Draw play. Terrell Davis. Nifty run. Oh, what a dandy move.
They've been looking for that running back that you can count on. Count on in the first quarter and in the fourth quarter. They have not had that for years here. But Terrell Davis, they believe, can become that guy. You run an outside play with Rod Bernstein, and then you come right back inside with Terrell Davis. Picked up a very nice block inside.
That's a gain of 17 yards for Terrell Davis. Carl Wilson, an injured Buffalo Bill, on the ground.
One of the things I noticed today in the offensive side of the football on opening day was seems like more teams are running outside plays. You know, I saw Rod Bernstein run an outside play there a moment ago. The 49ers did it. There's Alex Gibb, the offensive line coach, assistant head coach as well, here for Denver, and he's got some guys that can really block. I mean, Habib, Schlereth, we've seen. Watch one of his guys, number 75, Habib. Again, he just kicks out Bryce Pop. Bernstein gets a nice block as well, and Davis follows that block. Well,
Brian Habib is going to pay dearly for that. He told us during our chat with him 2 days ago, every time an offensive lineman, A, gets on television, or gets his name mentioned in the paper, or agrees to even meet with the television commentators, it's a fine.
That's it. You get fined big time. I mean, they want to be as anonymous as telephone operators, and he'll have a big fine.
Well, the reason that Gary Zimmerman wouldn't meet with us is he's
take a fine.
Too cheap to pay the fine.
Brian Habib said about Alex Gibbs, he said, hey, I've been in this league a while now. I have never been around an offensive line coach who knew more about coaching offensive linemen than Alex Gibbs.
Under Alex Gibbs a year ago, Kansas City gave up 19 sacks. This Denver bunch gave up 55 last year. That's the reason he's here. Terrell Davis surges over right guard at the 23-yard line.
Yeah, Terrell Davis keeps this up. He is a demonstrative guy. He goes out with his offensive lineman. He'll chew him out, but then he'll pat him on the back. He's almost looks like a special teams coach, doesn't he?
He said one of the things he's got to do is convince the wide receivers they are responsible for sacks. He's got to convince the route runners that they're not embarking on 9-day journeys.
Yeah, exactly. Get downfield.
Blitz coming. Terrell Davis in the middle to the 20.
Okay, these are the tough yards that Terrell Davis is giving the Broncos right now. The way he hugged that block. Okay, just follows, it hugs the block of Gary Zimmerman, the left tackle, number 65. And you're going to get a couple here. Schlereth has a stalemate on his guy, which is good enough. Zimmerman stands up the linebacker, and he is smart enough not to try to do it all on his own, but he follows in a disciplined run there by Terrell Davis.
Denver 2 of 7 on third down conversions. Davis now with 46 yards, but the Broncos will burn a timeout of their own. They call time with 3:06 remaining in the first half. Well, we've got a good one tonight. Yes, Booth. It's a little far, a little high.
Well, let's set up this third down. In years past, this was definitely a passing down for the Broncos, but we've seen them run with some power here in this drive with Terrell Davis and with Rod Bernstein. So if you can believe that, this is kind of a run or pass down for Denver right now.
3rd and 1. They lead it by 2. 8-man front, play action. Elway can't get his man Bernstein.
How about Bryce Pop?
Oh, boy.
Bryce Pop was the guy that is going to force the field goal attempt. You're going to watch number 95. The free agent from Green Bay, he's on the near side right there, comes cleanly. Now, he was supposed to get fooled, but that was a disciplined play by Bryce Pop. This is a consistent, relentless guy, and he is going to make a difference in the pass rush for the Bills this year.
Coming off a great season for Green Bay a year ago, made his first Pro Bowl. And here's Elam for his 4th field goal attempt in the first half. And this one is no good. So Elam comes up. Will stand up. I don't think so. Here's the possession chart for the Bills in the first half.
And Chris Moore will earn a letter.
And they tag into that 77-yard drive.
Number 79 on the offense. 10 yards, still first down.
That's Reuben Brown. That's the rookie.
Yeah, that's the matchup. He had a good hold on Michael Dean Perry. He's going to tackle him. Yeah, Perry tries to get to that gap, and Brown gets his hands on him early, but he just can't stop the power. He is so quick and explosive on those first 2 steps. It just blew right by him.
1st and 20. Kelly. Oh, here's Andre Reed. How's that for a quick 21-yard gain?
Yeah, and you see who Andre Reed kind of knocked backward? It was Steve Atwater. You talk about a tough, physical guy who will catch the ball over the middle. Andre Reed has done this for 11 years now. First of all, it was a frozen rope. I mean, that ball got there quickly. It was a perfectly thrown ball right in the numbers. And then he runs through Atwater for the extra couple of yards to pick up the first.
Kelly back, left side. Tipped, almost picked off.
Oh, it's a Ray Crockett.
Intended for Bill Brooks, and Ray Crockett was right there.
He's having a night, Ray Crockett, isn't he? And we've seen him make a couple of tackles in critical situations, knock the ball away. Made a 1 tackle, 2 yards short of a first down. Now, he's back playing left corner. Last year, he played right corner after coming from Detroit as a free agent. And you get the feeling he just feels a lot more comfortable over there on the left side. And if you're comfortable, you're confident, and then you play better.
And they've got Lionel Washington in his old spot. Now 2nd down and 10. Here's Kelly. Blitz coming. Crockett. The pass behind Lonnie Johnson. James Jones had drifted back in pass coverage that time. That's a huge load to move north.
Yeah, well, you know, Greg Robinson did that a lot last year with the Jets. I mean, he would bring outside guys and then drop off defensive linemen in short zones.
And the pass incomplete makes it 3rd and 10. Buffalo is 1 of 6 on 3rd downs. Kelly is 7 of 16 for 95 yards. Damon Thomas in as an extra wide receiver. 3rd and 10. Here comes Michael Dean Perry.
Oh.
And there goes Thurman Thomas.
Had something
and here comes a flag from, I don't know, the 25-yard line.
That was a hefty throw by the field judge.
Holy cow.
Bill Schmitz.
I mean, that was way downfield. And the pass will be, the penalty will be declined.
Pass interference, number 84 on the offense. That penalty is declined. It'll be 4th down, and that's the 2-minute warning.
So we have reached the 2-minute warning. We cheated you by a second. We'll be right back. By 2. Glenn Milburn stays in the lineup, and the Broncos go in the shotgun. Everybody coming. Down low. The catch in traffic. Shannon Sharp dropped one in the end zone, and a frozen rope from Mr. Elway.
John Elway can throw a greasy pork chop past the hungry wolf. This thing gets there. There's no open guy. I mean, there is a crease about that big, and I'm holding my fingers an inch apart, and he gets the ball. That was the play they opened the game with early over Perry.
Man, oh man, that was excellence on both sides.
Cool.
Elway and Sharp.
You know you're going to get smacked, you know you're going to get hit, but you have the concentration in traffic. And I want to tell you, there's nothing for the confidence of a quarterback that you know you have a receiver that'll catch the ball in traffic like that, a 30-yard gain.
That's 30 yards on that play. Nalen snaps it back. Elway goes deep for Pritchard. Guarded by Burris, can't hang on. Jeff Burris, one of the 3 number 1 draft choices who occupy starting spots in his Buffalo secondary.
Underthrew him. Had him for a touch. Underthrew Mike Pritchard there. But, you know, that's the thing about both these quarterbacks. We talk about playing ugly for a while. Neither one of them really playing great. And the next thing you know, he throws the rope to Shannon Sharp. Then he comes back to Mike Pritchard. And he had him. He just kind of underthrew him. Still catchable, though. Still catchable.
2nd and 10. 1:10 remaining in the first half. Denver up by a couple. This time, 4-man rush. They stunt. Here's the pass to Terrell Davis. He breaks 1 tackle, but then is caught and dropped by Cornelius Bennett at the 43-yard line. And the Broncos are going to use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. And the time is called with 59 seconds to go.
We're going to watch Bruce Smith on an inside move. We've seen an outside move, then a quick move, and then this time a stunt. He fakes outside and then comes inside the rush of Phil Hansen to give John Elway a shot. So we've seen 3 different pass rushes in the first half by Bruce Smith. This guy is still the dominant pass rusher in the National Football League.
Alex Gibbs said to us he is, without question, the best defensive player in the league right now.
He said over the last 5 years he has.
Oh. Interesting listening to him talk, too, about the acquisition of Jeffcoat and Bryce Popp to help him with additional sack.
Yeah, it's up to date. Reggie White had 2.5 today. You see where Bruce Smith is, and he is an absolute force, and he is a change of pace. And as Alex Gibbs was saying, hey, 5 years ago he took some plays off. He doesn't do that anymore. He's playing hard every down.
3rd and 8, 59 seconds remaining. First half. Blitz coming. They bring 7. Here's Elway. He can still get it down, can he? But he fumbles. And the ball is going to be down at the 30-yard line. Carl Schultz.
He may be 35 years old, and he may not be as fast as he once was, but he's still fast enough.
Clock running with 34 seconds to go. And now stopped at the 34-second mark.
Vern, I've always thought John Elway is the best scrambler ever in the National Football League. Not necessarily the best runner. I mean, maybe Roger Staubach was, Steve Young, and some guys like that, Randall Cunningham. But the best scrambler because he is always still looking downfield for a big play. And he felt Kurt Schultz behind him. Kurt Schultz does a nice job of stripping the ball, but there's old Shannon Sharp to lend a hand to his quarterback.
2nd down and 10. 34 seconds to go. Deep in the middle, Pritchard, in and out of the hands. Marlon Kerner, second good defensive play for the rookie.
Well, this has been a first half of good defensive plays. It starts with Gary Zimmerman doing his job first. You have to start by blocking Bruce Smith. Zimmerman does that. Elway's allowed to step up. He's got an open Pritchard. The recovery speed there by Kerner. They're testing the rookie, and that good recovery speed by Kerner.
Marlon Kerner, the 3rd-round pick out of Ohio State. Terrific play.
You know, Eric Davis for the 49ers today saved the game against New Orleans. Same kind of play there by Kerner.
3rd and 10. Elway on a rope at the 20. That'll be enough for the first down.
They have, the Broncos have some good, strong inside receivers. They're going to use their last time out. You see old Reggie Rivers, he came in from the sidelines. He came running in to call the timeout and then ran out. I'm sure he can do that, but that's what he did.
Broncos are out of timeouts now with 17 seconds to go. How do you differentiate scrambler runner when you're talking about Elway?
It's a good point. I think when Elway is scrambling, he is always looking for the pass first. He couldn't that time. But generally, his big plays, if you look back over his career, they come on the scramble. When he's trying to set something up downfield, then he'll throw it down 60 yards. You look at Randall Cunningham, Steve Young, Roger Staubach, those guys, when they were scrambling, they were looking to run. And I think that's a big, big difference. And no one has been able to have the velocity and the strength to finish a scramble like John Elway. To be able to run one way, throw the ball cross body 40 yards.
You know, Wade Phillips was talking with us by phone this week and concerning Elway's high number of sacks. That's one of the risks you take.
Yeah, because you want him out there scrambling around. You already got to take some sacks.
1st and 10, 9-7. Denver leads, trying to add to the total. Four-man Buffalo rush. Elway. No, that was a mix-up. Pritchard went one way, John went the other.
There's still 12 seconds remaining here in this half. They do have no timeouts, and you have to be careful. You're going to call the kind of routes that either you can get out of bounds or you can quickly line up and then down the ball and give your kicker a chance. Now, I still not have, they have been able to get the ball to Shannon Sharp all night. I mean, he was covered the last play by Perry, the linebacker, but he's been open a lot tonight.
Elway, rather modest, 9 of 23 in the first half. Lets it go deep for Pritchard, incomplete.
Had him again. Had him again. Just had to lead him more toward the middle of the field, Vern. Again, a good rush by Smith. I think Pop was in there as well. But he thinks actually he was going to run a little narrower, skinnier post pattern. And if he throws this away from the defender, I think it's a touch. And he had him beat.
Well, soccer fans must love this one. Here's Jason Needham for the 5th time in the first half.
Regular World Cup game, isn't it?
He rides the mile-high air and puts it 5 yards into the end zone. Touchback. Who worries about that kicking off from the 30-yard line?
No, not here you don't.
No. John Elway. And the Broncos, really an average first half for John, 11 of 25 for 174.
Yeah, and we've talked about that, though, but, one throw away from a win with him. Anytime you have in the game. He did have Shannon Sharp, who dropped a pass. He missed a touchdown pass, probably to Mike Pritchard, but it was an uneven first half for John Elway.
1st and 10, back split. They hand it off. Terrell Davis gets a couple. Actually, he doesn't get back to the line of scrimmage.
Just talking about Terrell Davis and Brian Habib, the offensive guard, was telling us that, hey, this guy is a hungry, hard-working rookie. And, when you come in as a 6th-round draft pick, that's what you should be. And, he had a nice little first half. He ran for 46 yards, and, he's showing some flashes here. And some tough yards. They were the tackle-to-tackle type of yards.
2nd down and 10. Elway stands strong. Goes deep right side, and
he got bumped downfield. Pritchard got bumped downfield.
That should be the 5-yard variety.
Yeah, Mike Pritchard, we were talking about him earlier. I think he has a chance of having a very, very good season for these Broncos because he is so good after the catch. Remember, after 5 yards, you can't bump him. Looks like he gets jammed right there. Wasn't significant, but they'll call it, and they did on Jeff Burris.
Mike Pritchard played collegiately at Boulder. Here's Red Cashin. It's going to be the big kind. The adult version.
Yeah, I guess they deemed the ball catchable. I thought it was an illegal contact for the 5-yard version, but they deemed
defensive pass interference. Number 22.
Here comes
1st down.
There we go.
Yeah, there he is.
Now the season's begun.
I've been waiting for that all night. Jim Kelly checking his options. A lot of times you run the same plays just in different formations, so you go into the game with probably 40 or 50 different plays, maybe off of 8 formations.
Elway back on 1st down. Gets a little pressure, finds McCaffrey. And Ed McCaffrey, who starts tonight in the place of Anthony Miller, makes the grab. McCaffrey, 6'5" receiver from Stanford, who was a draft choice of the New York Giants, played there 3 years, then to San Francisco, and signed here as an unrestricted free agent.
Yeah, once again, Bruce Smith was made his presence known. See Pop from one side, Bruce Smith from the other. And then you get the tackle there by Perry. But I think Pop is going to help Bruce Smith this year in the long run as a pass rusher.
2nd down and 7. Pritchard in motion. Draw play. Whoa! Dandy. Bill Hansen, who's really the unsung member of that front line.
Yeah, you talk so much about Bryce Pop, and you always talk about Bruce Smith and Cornelius Bennett. This is one of those solid guys. You see what he did there. Good point of attack type of guy. He'll come in from the right part of the screen, number 90. Just kind of blows through Brian Habib, throws him away, makes the stop. But you need guys like Phil Hansen and Ted Washington. If everybody's rushing the passer, you need some guys to stay at home and stuff the run, and Phil Hansen did right there.
3rd and 10. Glenn Milburn is in along with Terrell Davis. Shotgun, 5-man, 4-man rush. Elway steps up in the pocket. This is picked off. Henry Jones has it, number 20. And Jones comes to his left. Grabs the deflected pass, and you told me this afternoon, every time you see him, he plays well.
Yeah, Henry Jones always plays well on TNT. But again, it's the rush that forces him to step up. Okay, this time it's Jeffcoat, number 77, Smith, 78. Now, then he took a shot by Schultz. I'm talking about Terrell Davis. But a heads-up play and a catch by Henry Jones. I mean, this guy is a strong safety, plays the position a lot like corner, yet he is strong enough at 200 pounds to come up and stuff you on the run. He is a very versatile, strong safety.
1st and 10 after the turnover. Kent Hull at center. They hand it off in the draw play to Thurman Thomas. He works right tackle. Runs into Elijah Alexander and Dante Jones, numbers 58 and 53. There's Henry Jones.
Well, he has done everything. He has the ability to cover, guys one-on-one. He can cover wide receivers. They haven't really put him on Shannon Sharp. I think maybe they should. But Vern, I think if the Buffalo Bills are going to win this football game tonight, Thurman Thomas is going to have to get the running game going.
Averaging 3 yards per carry so far. Here's his 10th carry of the game. And Steve Atwater is there to make an arm tackle. Atwater got his left arm up. One of the things that has troubled this Denver franchise, Pat, has been a series of really bad drafts in the last 7 or 8 years. You look back, and Atwater is really the only #1 pick in the last, 8 years that's made an impact.
Yeah, and Mike Shanahan's well aware of that. He said, we have blown, the franchise has blown a lot of high draft picks, and they need guys like Dan Williams to turn out this year.
3rd and 3. Thomas. Dandy defensive job by Simon Fletcher to force the play further outside. And Elijah Alexander makes the tackle, but Fletcher set it up.
And he got some help from Michael Dean Perry. I mean, what you're seeing is a different Denver defense. Some guys that have some muscle, they're physical, they're tough, they can stuff the inside. You're right, Simon Fletcher forces it outside, and he gets pummeled there by Elijah Alexander. And Michael Dean Perry just kind of works off the rookie Reuben Davis. Just kind of strings him out. Excuse me, Reuben Brown. Reuben Brown did not finish that block.
4th and 4, Buffalo will go for it. Quick setup. Left side, caught. 1st down.
Oh, that is a beautifully timed play, Vern, to Russell Copeland. I mean, it was a press, one-on-one coverage. Russell Copeland on Randy Hilliard. They didn't waste any time. It happened very, very quickly. And I think Hilliard thought Russell Copeland was going to go long to go to the no-huddle now.
First time we've seen the no-huddle tonight. 1st and 10. Kelly, a lot of time. Man open, flag is down.
That time they faked the same play. They threw to Copeland, to Andre Reed, and then they were going to send him deep, Vern. The problem was it wasn't the same defensive back that they were working on.
This one, I think, is going to go against the Broncos. And this may be the juvenile version. The illegal block downfield.
I want the 1st down.
Kelly and Cashin talk it over.
Illegal contact, number 48 on the defense, 5 yards, 1st down.
There he is. Let's go back to the prior play, the one before on the 4th down play. This is Russell Copeland and number 21, Randy Hilliard. Here's a 1st down marker. He's going to fake deep and then just kind of stop. A perfectly timed pass and throw there by Kelly, and you get the 1st down. Very pretty.
And a 1st down after the penalty now. 12-7, Denver leads it. Thomas goes left. Breaks the tackle. And there's his best run of the night. 1st and goal, Buffalo at the 9-yard line of the Broncos.
Some runners get extra yards by breaking tackles, some by moving the pile, but Thurman Thomas sees where those extra yards are and somehow, Vern, gets his body there. One of a very disciplined, patient runner, and he sets up the blocks, and now he's got something going. This is a good drive for him.
Thomas gets the ball for the 13th time tonight. A hard-earned yard this time. And it'll be 2nd down. 12-7 Denver. Marv Levy's bunch.
And again, you have to think, or Jim Kelly has to think, Andre Reed is the guy over the last 10 years that I have used in these kind of situations.
Reed is to the right side. Copeland, wide left, Brooks in the slot. Draw play, Thomas. Not much room, he gets to the 5. Report from the Buffalo bench, John Fina, who had that hyperextended elbow, is out for the remainder of the game, and Corey Lucci has taken his place, number 72.
That's that left tackle spot, and he's lined up against Simon Fletcher.
No huddle again, 3rd and 5. 3rd and goal from the 5. 12-7, Denver leads it.
They're gonna double Andre Reed.
He's to the right. Draw play, Thomas stuffed at the 1-yard line. Now Jim Kelly looks back at Marv Levy and Jim Schaffner, the quarterback coach.
They're going for it.
What are we going to do? Go for it?
You know, this is something new, too. They are going to go for it. And in years past, their short yardage runner was Kenneth Davis. He is no longer here with the Bills. They got big old Tyndale in there as an extra blocker. And Thurman Thomas will be the short yardage player.
Well, they said they'd looked at films last year of every short yardage play, and Thomas had the highest percentage of success. They crossed him up with Carwell Gardner.
No.
And he did not get in. I do not believe. Goal line stand, Denver. Elijah Alexander.
And this really is a new Denver defense. A break from the old tradition of kind of a soft defense inside that wouldn't make plays. But tonight, this Denver defense has done it again. That time on 4th down, and they take the ball over. And Steve Atwater's involved in it again. Here he is. He's playing like a linebacker. He is going to fill this hole, and Carwell Gardner comes right here. The surprising thing to me, though, is Atwater doesn't really hit him cleanly. I think Carwell should have scored here because he didn't really get his helmet in front of him. He trips and falls and did not get in the end zone, but it was Atwater making the play.
What was it Jim Kelly said to us? How do we win? We block Atwater. On 2nd down. Bernstein tries to bounce it to the outside. He gets just about to the 5.
But again, you know, we've looked at that play a couple times. I really am surprised Carwell Gardner did not get in because it was really not a square hit by Steve Atwater.
3rd down.
You play fullback. You be Rod Bernstein this time, Bern. You get the ball. We wouldn't give it to you in this situation, but just in case we did, this is what it would look like.
Well, with my elusive moves, I'd have bounced it to the outside.
Yeah, you did.
I had elusive moves at 48. That catch is made. 1st down. Well, Bernstein couldn't get outside on the run, but he gets outside on the pass, and the Broncos move the chains.
And that is a very important 1st down. You know, your defense does a great job. They stuff the Bills on 4th down. They give you the ball in an awful field position. You're happy to have it, but grinding out that first down out of the end zone is awfully important, and they just put it away there.
1st down and 10. Back split behind Elway. And off inside, Terrell Davis slips it up the middle. Moves it to the 19-yard line. Young man who grew up in San Diego, as we said. He went to Lincoln High School, which is where Marcus Allen played his high school ball. Then went to Long Beach State. Program was suspended 5 games into his first year.
Played for George Allen there.
Went to, that's right. And then wound up at Georgia. And had a couple of pretty good years. And then his senior year, he was hamstrung by a hamstring. I didn't mean to say that.
That's a lot of hands.
I did not intend to say that. It just, I picked out. 2nd and short. That should be enough for the 1st down. Jeff Burris makes the tackle. Now let's take a look, just in the nick of time, to the Coors Light scoreboard. Oakland wins, as does Kansas City. New England at the end of the game wins that one. Pat has put his mark of respect on Miami for this year.
Yeah, I like Miami. I'll tell you, they've got some offensive weapons. I think they'll play better defense.
1st and 10, Denver, after the goal line stand. They moved it out now to the 22. Here's Bernstein on the sweep. And again, it's Mark Schlereth who is out there leading the way around the left end, but good defensive work.
This is one of the things I've noticed in week 1, though, are teams running more outside plays. I mean, I think you're finding so many strong defensive tackles in the NFL today. They're giving up on a lot of times on the inside run and running more to the outside.
How do you like the tactic now that Buffalo is employing with Bennett and Smith on the same side.
Well, I think that's really going to help him on pass downs in particular, Vern. And I think early in the year, Bryce Popp is going to get most of the sacks. And then they're going to start concentrating on him. And then later in the year, in the second half, I think Bruce Smith will get his share of sacks.
Aaron Craver and Milburn in the lineup now. Here's the pass into the flat for Aaron Craver. And Craver, who came over from Miami, makes the grab.
A matchup game. This has so far been a matchup game for the Denver offense. Shannon Sharp on linebackers, and that time Craver on number 95, Bryce Popp. It's a scheme. It's the way you draw it up during the course of the week. They're getting those kind of one-on-one, man-for-man matchups, and you should win those. And they are right now. Popp is a relentless pass rusher, but this is not his forte. He's covering backs one-on-one in the downfield.
First and 10 Denver. They moved it from their own 1 to the 34. They lead it 12-7. Elway looks deep. Flag is down in the offensive backfield. McCaffrey was involved in a bit of a battle with Thomas Smith, another of those number 1 draft choices in the secondary. But I think this is going to come back with a holding call against Denver.
You know, we have not heard much from Cornelius Bennett. You know, you're talking about Bennett and Smith being on the same side. Tell you one thing is that Wade Phillips is putting a lot of pressure on his young corners, Thomas Smith and Jeff Burris tonight, and they are responding. They are doing a pretty good job. A lot of blitzes, a lot of man-for-man coverage, and they're doing a good job.
Wade did not want to talk to the Denver media this week, I think with some degree of understanding. He wanted to low-key his return.
Number 76 on the offense. 10 yards, still first down.
Broderick Thompson is guilty of the holding call. Wade said that it was an emotional return. This has been his home for 6 years. His daughter graduated from high school here. His wife Lori did not make the trip because their son Wesley had a high school game back in Buffalo last night.
Well, he got a nice welcome when he came in. He shook a bunch of hands, the fans' hands, as he walked into the stadium tonight.
Vance Johnson, the Vance.
Yeah, he's back.
The Vance is in the lineup after a year away from football, wearing number 82. Elway back. Good protection. Nice pass. Oh, brother.
Yeah.
Hang some laundry on that one.
Yeah, that's it. You know, 1st and 25 is an intimidating down for most quarterbacks in the National Football League, but when you have some weapons like this and you have a guy who can throw it like this on a line, this far downfield, you run unusual routes. I don't think defensive backs see those kind of routes on that down. And that was a marvelous throw and well-timed pattern by Mike Pritchard.
Gain of 21, 2nd and 4. Rod Bernstein, Terrell Davis are in, back split. Pritchard in motion. Play action. Elway, deep for Shannon Sharp. Hit from Schultz, knocks it away. Double coverage on Sharp, and excellent double coverage by Buffalo.
Yeah, what a changeup, too. They put Henry Jones on Shannon Sharp. Remember, Shannon Sharp in the first half was blown by linebackers. This time, they put Henry Jones, their all-pro strong safety, on him, and then they give him some help with the free safety, Schultz. I mean, that's what you have to, that's one of the adjustments Wade Phillips has made here in this second half. Was going to be caught until Schultz got there.
Now on 3rd down, it'll be Vance Johnson, Sharp, and Glenn Milburn as the featured receivers. Also Ed McCaffrey to the near side. He's in the slot. 3rd and 4, Elway. Pumps, scrambles, down.
3 guys got a piece of him.
That's the 2nd sack for Buffalo tonight.
Jeffcoat, Popp, and Bruce Smith combining. There's Jeffcoat. Jeffcoat, you mentioned him. This is a guy is as smart a pass rusher as you can get. Milburn, number 22, slips. He's the guy who's going to get the ball. But Jeffcoat, number 77, makes the play. Gets some help from Popp and Smith. Everybody got a piece of it. A third.
Wade Phillips talking about Jim Jeffcoat and the fact that he still keeps a book on every offensive lineman with whom he contends. We asked Bruce Smith if he kept a book, and he said, no.
Just in my head.
Just raw talent. Speed heads. Bill Brooks back to return the punt, but there's no return of this one. Rod Smith, number 80, who made this team as a special teams performer, is down there to deny Buffalo the return, but they do have the ball. Play action, Jim Kelly. Drills it. No catch. Andre Reed was out of bounds.
You know, in the first half, the Bills had some success getting the ball to Russell Copeland, and we saw him once on a fourth down, but we have not seen him much here this second half. Yeah, the left foot's on the line. It's a good call by the official.
Jim Saraceno, the back judge, made the call. Well, we have asked the Weather Bureau to give us the current temperature, and they tell us it's 72.
Comfortable 72.
Boy, it is, yeah. Thurman Thomas back in. Here comes the corner blitz. Buffalo with a good job of picking it up, but Kelly lets it go left side incomplete. He's having a rather average night.
Yeah, you know, I think the defenses, remember at the very beginning of this broadcast, we said all the changes on defense. Buffalo started 5 new defensive starters tonight, and Denver Broncos started 6. So some of the questions about their defense have been answered, or are being answered, because both teams are putting pressure on the cornerback, and the defensive backs are doing a very good job, particularly the corners.
3rd and 10. This is when the microphones and the helmet help. Kelly has Bill Brooks, and he can't hang on. Ray Crockett.
Again, Ray Crockett. That ball should have been caught, though, Vern. I think that hit got there late. I think that ball should have been caught by Bill Brooks. Again, Bill Brooks is the man in the slot. He is number 80 right here. And again, he's getting the trail technique by Crockett. Can't get there on the makeup speed. Hits him late. Although Crockett did hit him, it still should have been caught by Brooks.
So Kelly comes to the bench. 8 of 21 for the game. Here's Chris Moore's punt. Nice, high, and deep. Milburn, fair catch at the 35-yard line. 1:41 remaining in the third quarter. It's still 12-7 Broncos.
Passes in traffic. There was that frozen rope, the one-on-one against Marlo Parrott. Perfect throw, great catch in traffic. Then we see him on a finesse play. The little inside screen in motion, blocks a guy, takes the ball over the middle, picks up another first down. And then early in the game, he went deep. I mean, this set everything else up. That was early in the first quarter. So Shannon Sharp, who's suffering from leg cramps right now, has done a little bit of everything for the Denver Broncos tonight.
5 for 117. Pretty nifty start to the 95 season. In the meantime, after the punt of Chris Moore, there was a penalty tacked on against the Broncos. So the ball moved from the 35 back to the 22-yard line. And it is from that spot that Denver will put it in play. First down and 10.
Well, with 1:41 remaining in the third quarter, the Broncos up 12-7. This is where you'd love to be able to control the game a little bit, Vern, run the football, and be thinking about getting another score on it. I mean, it's been an uneven offensive night for both teams.
Glenn Milburn in as a wide receiver, wide to the left. Bennett comes defensively. Bernstein moves it to the outside and across the 25 to the 27-yard line. Rod Bernstein went out with that knee injury in the third game last year, and had a terrific catch and run after the catch for a touchdown in the last preseason game in Jacksonville. He said that's when he felt like he was really back. Tom Nalen, second year as a starter, in at center, and it's second down and 5. 12-7, Denver leads it. Elway finds Sharp.
He said no catch. Yeah.
Nope, incomplete.
I'll tell you, Mark Schlereth did a nice job there, Vern. And we've seen Mark Schlereth pulling around on some of the outside plays. There he is, number 69. But he kind of, first of all, jammed Bruce Smith inside, and then he picked up another defender. When you have a guy who is, as Alex Gibbs calls him, as accountable as he is, your quarterback's going to get a lot of second chances.
Known to us as Schlereth, known to his family as Schlereth.
Schlereth, there you go. I knew I would do it. I hear everybody else do it that way. Schlereth, thank you. I've been practicing all day, too. Thank you, Vern.
I'm here to point out your errors. Here's Elway. This will come back. There's going to be a penalty against the Broncos. Red Cashin threw the flag.
Somebody had a hold on Jim Jeffcoat, I think. There he is. We talked about Jeffcoat. He actually does have a binder, an absolute binder of all the offensive tackles in the league. knows how to play him. He's going to be isolated on Habib, number 75.
69 on the offense. 10 yards, still first down.
Yeah, that's a pretty good block there by Brian Habib.
Holding up the middle on Hansen. There's Schlereth.
Now, Alex Gibbs said, that's the guy I've been trying to get on my team for 2 or 3 years now, and he finally got a chance to get him here in Denver.
Aaron Craver back in the lineup. 3rd down, 15.
Can't take the sack, and you certainly can't turn the ball over here, protecting a 5-point lead.
Here comes Smith. He slips. Elway. A flag is thrown on the near side. That pass to Pritchard just about a foot too far. Now we'll check the infraction.
Boy, he's had a couple of those just a foot too far.
Yeah.
But that's the difference between a scrambler and a good runner. When he gets out of the pocket, he's looking downfield. He's not looking to run. He's rather upset with himself because you get 3 or 4 plays like that a game. He's missed a couple of them tonight. Holding against the Bills. That could have been a touch. But he is unique in that when he avoids that.
Holding, number 28 on the defense, 5 yards, first down.
Yeah, Red's starting to get into it now.
Yeah. He's losing his laconic way. He's been kind of in preseason. The pride of Bryan, Texas, Red Cashin. He is one of the real good guys. And a terrific official to boot. 1st down and 10 at the 21. Craver and Terrell Davis in the backfield behind John Elway. 12-7, Denver leads it. Terrell Davis, number 30. For Davis, that's his 13th carry, 58 yards. So kind of a stand when he's not recording.
Well, every town has them.
Yes, they do.
Dallas has their guy, right?
And we got a birthday. Oh, we just got all kinds of stuff happening here on Sunday night.
Yeah.
We got snow in September. We got a barrel man has trouble riding in his car. 2nd down, Denver leading. We begin the 4th. Vermont quick batting. Shannon Sharp at the 28-yard line. Henry Jones is shadowing him now.
Yeah, well, he was a little closer, Henry Jones, was to Shannon Sharp, but you're still not going to stop him. And Henry Jones is as good a cover strong safety as you're going to find. But they obviously changed it. They realized the linebackers weren't going to be able to cover him. And now Jones is trying, but that time Shannon Sharp was too much for Jones as well.
4 field goals for the Broncos, a 34-yard touchdown for Buffalo. The key play, however, was a 4th and goal stop. Steve Atwater on Carswell Gardner. I knew I'd have it. That's my version of Here's Elway. Ed McCaffrey, 1st down, Denver at the 39. A 12-7 lead. Denver on top.
It is a physical defensive game. Offensive, it's tough being a center, too. Watch right here. You're going to see Nayland, number 66. He gets his hand in Bruce Smith's face. Bruce Smith gets bumped by 3 or 4 different guys. The thing is, when Bruce Smith lines up, every offensive lineman knows where he is. That time, Tom Neyland said, oh, my gosh, he's over me.
On 1st down, Elway steps up, wings it. Shannon Sharp, 1st down as he rolls to a stop at the 45.
Again, Elway not scrambling too early, not running. We talked about Thurman Thomas being a patient runner. Elway is a patient scrambler. His eyes are always downfield no matter where the rush is, feels people around him, feels the rush, stays underneath it, and again, boy, a wide open Shannon Sharp. If I'm Buffalo, I'm saying, hey, I don't know what's going to happen the rest of this 4th quarter, but Shannon Sharp is not going to beat me. Take him away. Jam him at the line of scrimmage.
He's caught 7 for 139. 1st down, Bernstein gets a couple to the 41-yard line.
Talking to Wade Phillips about playing against John Elway this week, and he said, for the last 6 years I've been in Denver, I've never been frightened of John Elway, but I was scared as heck preparing for him tonight because of the unusual things that he can do as a quarterback.
And John was telling us that his enthusiasm for the game has not diminished. He does not feel like his physical skills have eroded.
Nope.
So he's going to play for a few more years. And Mike Shanahan loves that. 2nd and 7. Monty Brown, number 96. There's a flag down at the 34-yard line.
Well, if you're John Elway, you have a 5-point lead. 12-14 remaining in the game. You're thinking, hey, if I get myself a field goal, I got an 8-point game. And they need about, I don't know where the penalty is going to end up, but about 8 more yards, 9 more yards to give themselves a decent field goal attempt. So that's what's going through Elway's mind right now.
Mike Pritchard limped off.
There is no crackback, no foul on the play because the block was within 5 yards. Second down.
Correcting the call. But again, as I said, they're at the 43-yard line now. You need to get down to about the 35, between the 35 and the 30 to give yourself a good shot at a field goal.
Right now they're at the 43. Rod Smith has come on now, replacing Mike Pritchard. He goes wide to the left side. Vance Johnson and McCaffrey come to the near side. On third down, 3rd and 8. That's Johnson in motion. Elway deep in the middle. Shannon Sharp. Oh, what a deadly combination this has proven to be tonight.
Even when you know he's going to get the ball and throw him, you can't stop him. It's the same thing when you think about guys like Michael Irvin and Jerry Rice. That's what makes these guys special players. You can't stop them, even when you know you're going to get the ball. And the patience of Elway and then the arm of Elway. He cuts down any reaction time because of the velocity of his throw. I mean, you think you have a chance to get after him and knock the ball away, but the ball gets there too fast.
Well, we mentioned a moment ago that he thinks he might equal or surpass some of the accomplishments of his terrific brother, Sterling Sharp. 162 yards tonight. I'm sure Sterling is watching this back east, and he's rather pleased with the effort of his brother tonight. It's been the Elway Sharp Show so far. 11:14 remaining. Time has been called by the Broncos, and we'll return to Mile High in a moment. At Buffalo to Mile High Stadium in 17 years, 18 years. We are a mile high, and it is hot, and it can tell in the 4th quarter.
And some guys are sucking some wind. You're right. There's a lot of guys. Shannon Sharp's been cramping up. Michael Pritchard's been cramping up.
And this is a really key drive for both ball clubs now, coming as it does with 11:14 remaining and a 5-point margin. Denver's on top. Play action, and Elway had Sam Rogers right in his face, number 59, coming from the outside.
That's a heads-up play by Elway right there, just avoiding the sack. I mean, a year ago he was sacked a gazillion times. He's been sacked 447 times in his entire career. He's been, kind of a throw rug for a lot of years. But that time he got rid of the ball so quickly and saved himself about 7-8 yards, as well as a hit. Good second half.
8 of 12, 2nd down and 10. Jerry Evans backs off the line, now goes in motion wearing number 88. They slip it inside to Terrell Davis, and Maddox, the linebacker, does a good job with an arm tackle. Mark Maddox, the 5-year man from Northern Michigan. It'll be 3rd down.
Yeah, again, this is an important down for the Denver Broncos. You can't do silly things on this down. And Elway, with 13 years of experience, he doesn't do too many of them. But he realizes his defense is playing well, Vern. He realizes he has a 5-point lead and he's in field goal range. You just can't turn the ball over. You can even take a sack, but you can't turn the ball over.
Shannon Sharp lines up tight to the left if you want to think about him. It's 3rd and 8. Elway back, bumps, goes deep in the end zone. McCaffrey, too long. A foot too far yet again.
Yeah, there's a reason that one was a foot too far, though, Vern, because there were a couple of defenders right in front of McCaffrey. He was hoping maybe to get a jump ball because McCaffrey's 6'5". Yeah, Marlon Kerner has played pretty well tonight. He's got trail technique because he's got some inside help. And there's another defender, Greg Evans, number 41, coming over. So Elway was just avoiding the turnover.
So Jason Elam on to try and extend the lead to 8. Ruin will hold. Elam is 4 of 5 tonight. Okay. This one is perfect. And then makes it to the 27-yard line. Now, John Elway has worn number 7 for a couple of years, and I guess they'll let him keep it, even though Elam would disagree. And older guys have won.
Yeah, you see 4 guys aged 35 or older have won it. Both these quarterbacks aged 35 as they play tonight.
I was there when Earl Morrall won it.
Is that right?
The Blunder Bowl.
How old were you?
I was not yet 35.
There you go.
But boy, it's come and gone.
Now here's where this Mile High crowd can help their team in the fourth quarter.
1st and 10. Kelly, dandy pass. He finds Copeland, Russell Copeland. That's his 4th catch tonight. And they go with a no-huddle. 10 minutes to go, first game of the season. Jim Kelly and the Buffalo Bills trail by 8. Their touchdown, a Kelly to Andre Reed toss of 34. That gave them a momentary 7-3 lead first quarter. Thomas, caught and dropped. Shane Dronette, number 99.
And now when your depth really comes into play, your depth on defense. And if you can play a lot of defensive linemen, Dronette comes in for Michael Dean Perry. Harold Hasselbach comes in for Dan Williams. Mike Lodish feeds in there for 10 or 15 plays. You need that kind of depth in the fourth quarter.
Greg Robinson, the new defensive coordinator, looking on. It's 2nd down, 11. Clock running, 9-12, 9-10 to go. Flag is down. Take the play back.
No play.
They've been movement in the offensive line. Glenn Parker, number 74.
That's a crowd. That's a crowd penalty.
Before the ball was snapped, false start, number 74 on the offense. 5 yards, still 2nd down.
That'll make it 2nd down and 16. Glenn Parker. He was the last offensive line rookie to start for Buffalo. Reuben Brown gets the start tonight. Parker now in his 6th year. Second and 16. Up front, Fletcher, Dronette, Mike Lodish, the former Buffalo Bill, and Harold Hasselbach. Kelly across the middle. Oh! Alexander had it and dropped it. And he may have been distracted by Britt Hager, number 54.
Yeah, Britt Hager, you're right. Britt Hager was making a play on the ball as well, and that's okay. When you have 2 of your linebackers diving after the ball, you know you're playing some pretty good defense. Had a chance. He did. He may have gotten a hand on it. Britt Hager got a hand on it. Alexander couldn't get it.
Hager, the former University of Texas All-American, came here as an unrestricted free agent from Philadelphia. Carwell, Gardner, and Thurman Thomas in the backfield. A 3-man rush by Denver. Kelly being chased, lets it go. Atwater. No catch. Yes, the catch is made.
They won't get the first, though.
Russell Copeland again. It'll be 4th down.
I tell you, one of the things Denver has done, and give Greg Robinson some credit, their 3rd down defense has been sensational tonight. Only 1 of 11 conversions by Buffalo. That is great 3rd down defense.
Greg Robinson talking with Simon Fletcher. And here's Chris Moore. Glenn Milburn back at the 10, waits for it. Low snap. Moore, high and deep. Fair catch. Milburn at the 15. 8 minutes and 9 seconds remaining in regulation play. 15-7. 5 field goals have given Denver an 8-point lead. 8:09 to go fourth quarter, and they lead it by 8. John Elway across the middle for Shannon Sharp. Goes by Jeff Burris.
I don't understand it, Vern. I really don't. I mean, at some point you have to say, force someone else to beat you, right? And I don't even think they're jamming Shannon Sharp much of the line of scrimmage. He's getting a free release, and he's been virtually wide open.
Remember that graphic we had in the first half about great opening day performances?
Yep.
Frank Clark?
Yep.
33 years ago, 241 yards.
Yep.
Well, we've got 8 minutes.
Yeah, we have a chance.
Shannon Sharp has 175 yards in receptions tonight. Draw play. Good defensive play.
Okay, if the Broncos are going to be a quality team this year, they're going to have to run the football at times like this. Because if you can't run it when you have to in the NFL, and you have to depend upon the pass too much, you don't win a lot of games in the fourth quarter. You have to win to run the ball well, to overcome deficits, and then to protect the lead like they're trying to do tonight.
Well, they've got 114 yards rushing tonight. Terrell Davis, the rookie 6th-round pick out of Georgia, has 60 on 15 carries, a 4 yards per carry average. Elway, Shannon Sharp. That's to the 35-yard line, and Shannon Sharp now is in double digits for receptions for the night.
Around 18 or 20, whatever it is, Gary Zimmerman against Bruce Smith. Zimmerman, number 65, wins this one. He does a great job of just pushing him around John Elway, and that has been a battle. The game within the game, Bruce Smith has had his share of wins, but that one goes to Gary Zimmerman.
3rd and 5, McCaffrey near side. Marlon Kerner has him. Buffalo, Elway back. He'll run it. Being chased, has the first plus.
Those aren't 35-year-old legs. I'm sorry. He has a great feel for a rush. You know, even all the sacks that he's taken, we talked about the reason he takes so many is because he has a big plays in the scrambles. Ordinary, he's looking downfield to throw it twice tonight. He has scrambled to run for first downs.
Broncos trying to erase the memories of last year, 7-9, but really a dismal start. They lost their first 4, including the opener at the end of the ball game. And here's the handoff inside Buffalo territory now to the 49-yard line. Terrell Davis gets the carry.
This is a grinded-out, physical Denver offense right now. And I think a couple of big questions that have certainly been answered tonight is they're going to play much more physical defense. And right now they're playing some physical offense and being able to pound the ball inside. This is a stronger Denver team than they had a year ago.
Mike Pritchard may have had a reoccurrence of leg cramps. He's come to the near side. See how winded Bruce Smith is? It's late and it's high.
Yeah, and he's had a battle with Gary Zimmerman. That has been a good matchup.
Shannon Sharp is slowly going onto the field. Rod Smith has already gone on. Now Red Cashin is telling Sharp, you can't come on the field. Shannon says, you don't understand.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue with him. Yeah.
I've got 10 catches already. Frank Clark, I'm chasing him.
Yeah.
180 yards.
His brother Sterling did catch a pass today. Joe Theismann threw him one in the studio. Did you see that?
I missed that.
He got one for the day, but his brother's beaten.
Did Sterling say anything?
Yeah, he sure did. He did, absolutely. He said, I was open again.
That was an anomaly in Green Bay when Sterling Sharp wouldn't talk to the local media because he is one of the most refreshing guys that I've encountered in the NFL. And he stubborn streak. Elway. McCaffrey. Oh, boy. With Jeff Burris in his chest. Ed McCaffrey makes the grab, but the flag is down.
A personal foul, roughing the quarterback. Just when you think Denver's going to try to grind it out on you, they pull one out of the hat and throw the ball deep. With one throw of his arm, he can change the complexion of the game. And there's only a few guys in the NFL can do that, and he's one of them. When we think about McCaffrey being a possession receiver, he had beaten Jeff Burris early in that route.
20 on the defense. Penalty will be added to the end of the play. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
Well, there's Thomas Smith. It sounded like it was number 20, Henry Jones. But they have moved the ball inside the 10 to the 6. And the Broncos have a 1st and goal, protecting an 8-point lead with 5:05 to go.
As well as their defense is playing, a touchdown here would be a knockout punch. As well as their defense is playing tonight.
35-yard pass and the penalty set up Denver with a 1st and goal. That's McCaffrey in motion. Now here's Bernstein right over Tom Nalen's back at the middle, number 66 riding the way. Brian Habib and Mark Schlereth helping out.
Well, remember, the Denver defense had their goal line stand. Now it's time for Buffalo's defense to do the same and return the favor. The 4:30 remaining in this ball game, and when you're down by 8 points, your defense has to really get stout. maybe create a turnover.
2nd and goal from the 4. Only one turnover in the ball game so far. That was a pass interception on a deflected pass picked off by Henry Jones of Buffalo. Terrell Davis down to the 2. Phil Hansen is up high to help with the tackle, number 90. And the clock shows 4 minutes and unraveling.
Well, this is not the explosive West Coast offense that Mike Shanahan had last year in San Francisco. But I want to tell you, it is an efficient offense. Has been efficient tonight. But the defense, he has to be happy with that. There were question marks about his defense coming into the game, but they played very well.
10 seconds. They're going to let the clock run down and then call timeout. If you were a lip reader, you heard Shanahan say, let it run down, then call time. So they have done that. The game clock comes down to 1. 3 minutes and 26 seconds remaining. Mike Shanahan seems quite composed in his first game as the head coach at Denver.
Well, they haven't found a way to stop Shannon Sharpe yet, have they?
He lines up tight to the right. Milburn is split wide left. McCaffrey and Pritchard wide right. They slip it inside to Terrell Davis. Touchdown, Denver!
That was a good short yardage run. And he really hugged his offensive lineman's block. I mean, he wasn't trying to make a 14 or 25-yard run. He was just going to hug his block and get the ball into the end zone. I think it was Broderick Thompson, number 76, the right tackle, who led the way. But that was a veteran run by Terrell Davis.
Flags are down as the kick goes up and through. My goodness. A flurry of hanky action in the end zone. And then a little skirmish to punctuate the unpleasantness.
Alex Gibbs has done a nice job with this offensive line for Denver because they
12 men on the field on the defense. Penalty will be on the kickoff. Point is good. That's a timeout.
Because that offensive line have done a very nice job, particularly in critical situations. And this time it was Broderick Thompson, number 76, who leads the way for the rookie Terrell Davis, who follows that offensive lineman and gets his first NFL touchdown.
On 3rd and goal has given the Broncos a 15-point lead.
Let's go back and watch both offensive tackles. That's Gary Zimmerman. This is Broderick Thompson. Zimmerman's going to seal off here. This tackle, Thompson leads in here, and Davis just hugs those blocks. Zimmerman just destroys Maddox. Thompson leads the way, and then a good, tough inside run by Terrell Davis. And he has proved his point that he earned the starting tailback or halfback job for Denver in the preseason, and he's played well tonight.
Here's Jason Elam. That's a terrific kick. Jourdain, number 30, brings it out to the 18-yard line. Now, Shannon Sharpe has reason for the oxygen. He has had some busy night.
Yeah, the altitude has affected a lot of these players. And we were talking with Terrell Davis, the rookie from Georgia, actually grew up in Southern California. He said the altitude, he had a tough time adjusting to it. Actually got very sick. A future John Elway. That's what this game's about. You know, the game's about young kids with dreams. It really is.
1st and 10. Pass left side for Andre Reed, back at the 20-yard line. And let's see if Buffalo goes with a no-huddle. Well, Terrell Davis has had a memorable first game with 67 yards on 18 carries and a touchdown. It's been a long road from Lincoln High in San Diego to the NFL. Here's Kelly. That one's incomplete. You know, Terrell Davis will remember his first game. Where was yours played as a rookie?
I remember my rookie game. I was a second-team quarterback. We were playing the Atlanta Falcons in Atlanta. And Ron Jaworski got hurt. Chuck Knox, the coach, sent me with the lead, said, don't you dare throw the ball. I called an audible, threw a ball, touchdown. He said, don't ever call an audible for a touchdown again.
Well, it is a special night. Flag is down on this play on 3rd down. Well,
Unabated to the quarterback with the defense, 5 yards. That's 1st down.
Hey, Reuben Brown, number 79. Remember, sometimes you block Michael Dean Perry. Sometimes you don't block anybody. I mean, you get the arms out there, you spread the wings, and maybe somebody runs into you. But Reuben Brown's done okay tonight.
yes, he has. Oh, I think so.
Yeah.
Dan Williams.
That might be the 15-yard variety, too, Vern. And down by, 15 points with 2:37 remaining. The game's not over.
That one will hurt on the plane ride home, too. That'll be a sore neck for Thurman Thomas. 16 carries for 49 yards.
Yeah, this is the full face mark variety. That's got to be the 15. Unintentional, of course, but, man, that...
Personal foul, face mask, number 90 on the defense, 15 yards, 1st down.
You know, we said it a couple times, but the Bills just have not been able to establish a running game. When they were really good in those Super Bowl years, they got Thurman Thomas going, and then Andre Reed participated, and then Don Beebe and much of the other wide receivers, but they never got Thurman Thomas going.
Here's Kelly back. That one's batted behind the line of scrimmage. Shane Dronette may have gotten it. If not, it was Dan Williams. I'm not sure.
Yeah, these Denver Bronco defense, unlike past Denver Bronco defense, have 7 guys in the defensive line that they can rotate in and out of there. And that makes a difference in games like this.
Michael Dean Perry is in there right now. Just a moment ago, I looked down and John Elway was waving the towel, urging the crowd on. Yep, Elway's got it going again. Maybe 35, but you don't lose your enthusiasm. Kelly's down, and 2 flags go with him. Dan Williams, number 90.
Ouch. Jim Kelly, the Tex Cobb of quarterbacks. He took a shot to the chin there. Remember old Tex, right?
I do remember old Tex.
Yeah, he took some blows, and Jim Kelly takes some blows. But you know what? He always seems to get himself back up.
Well, Simon Fletcher says we're going to turn this one down. Michael Dean Perry.
Holding.
Here we go.
Number 79 on the offense. That penalty is declined. 3rd down.
Reuben Brown. Elway looks on.
Said it was very important for us to win the home opener.
Last year, 0-4 start. They've also lost their last 4 to Buffalo, including the 4th game of last season. That extended the losing streak to open the year. Here's Kelly. He's running, and he's caught from behind. Harold Hasselback, who spent 4 years in the Canadian Football League. Interesting guy. He speaks 7 languages.
Can you name 4 of them?
No.
Never mind. Never mind.
No.
But again, that just goes to show you the depth they have with Hasselback. And in these kind of games, when you got to rush the passer late in the game to preserve a lead, you need fresh legs. Hasselback gives that to the Broncos.
He's going to speak in Indonesian and get us to the 2-minute warning. That's one of them.
17 quarterbacks forget the snap count. I have many times.
You ever lined up under a guard?
Oh, yeah.
Have
Absolutely. My mother thought it was a trick play. I kind of moved one over to the stage.
Before the ball was snapped, ball start, number 83, 5 yards, still 4th down.
She thought you had suddenly transferred to Nebraska and you were running the Fumblerooski.
Yeah, absolutely. That was her favorite play, the old Fumblerooski.
Shannon just got off the phone with Sterling. Said, hey, bro, not a bad start.
That's right. 11:45 sharp.
Here's Kelly. That's almost there. Wow. Bill Brooks catches it just a yard shy.
That's how we do the look check in on our matchup, Reuben Brown and Michael Dean Perry, one of those game within the games we've talked about tonight. Now he gets his hands out there. He gets it quick hands on Michael Dean Perry. That one goes to Reuben Brown. That's pretty good offensive guard play by Reuben Brown, the #1 draft pick. They could build on that. And speaking of that, building on something, these Broncos go into Dallas next week and play the Cowboys. And I think they have a very positive thing to build on here. They played great defense tonight.
Certain symmetry here. The Buffalo Bills are making their first visit to Denver since '77. And next week, Denver makes its first visit to Dallas since 1977. That was also, not so coincidentally, the year the two of them played in the Super Bowl.
That's right.
In New Orleans.
Well, this is a quarterback's favorite formation in play.
First down 10.
Hand it to your back and let them run it out.
That Super Bowl encounter between Dallas and Denver was memorable for many reasons. Roger Staubach started. Craig Morton was the starting quarterback for Denver, and of course he had played at Dallas for many, many years. That was the year that Craig Morton became a born-again Christian, right? And the leading receiver for the Broncos was Haven Moses. And in the aftermath of a rather disastrous appearance by Morton and the Broncos, Woody Page in the Denver paper said, "In a year when Morton found Jesus, he could not find Moses."
There they are, side by side.
Craig and Haven.
Well, let's go back and talk about what we opened this broadcast with, and the question marks we mentioned were on defense for both these teams. Certainly, Denver's defense has accounted for themselves particularly well tonight. I think Buffalo's defense is an improved one as well. The matchups, I mean, those were kind of pushes. And Bruce Smith won some of his, and certainly Gary Zimmerman did a fine job too. I'd have to say Michael Dean Perry got a little better of the rookie Reuben Brown, but I think both coaches have to be delighted with the way their defense is playing.
96 seconds remaining in this one, a 15-point Denver lead. And it'll be third down. Timeout called by Buffalo. They've got one left now.
You know, and it's a long season, but Buffalo, you just get the impression watching them in week one here, they are going to have to find some real dynamic plays or players to get over the hump here. And certainly they're going to have to get Thurman Thomas going.
Our Cadillac player of the game, no surprise here, the Broncos' Shannon Sharp, 10 catches, 180 yards. That's a career high and an NFL best today. He may get 100.
Yeah, by next week?
Yeah, by midterms.
Yeah.
By the time we're finished.
Well, we have Denver again.
Yes, we do.
In October against New England. That'll be New England with a big win today over Cleveland. Boy, that come from behind win.
It was a great day for road teams today, wasn't it? Not so for the Buffalo Bills, but gee whiz. Tampa at Philadelphia. Huge win. Cincinnati wins in overtime. Here's Aaron Craver, number 29. And it'll be fourth down with 1:23 to go in this one.
And the Bills will use and burn a timeout.
And that leaves them with nada. Terrell Davis, first game. 71 yards.
They were tough yards. And the touchdown run, I thought, was an exceptionally good play. I mean, when you need those 3 yards, don't be bouncing it outside for him. Just get the ball inside. He followed a great block by Gary Zimmerman and Broderick Thompson. It was a patient run. He took it right out of the book from Thurman Thomas. Nice young man, engaging guy.
Very confident, not cocky. Feels like he belongs here. Thurman Thomas, modest start. 17 carries for 46 yards. On the ground tonight, Buffalo with only 53 yards and 9 first downs. It's been a pretty dominant effort by the Bronco defense. Here's Tom Ruin's punt.
Nice catch.
Yes, it was.
By Rod Smith.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is a very good special teams player. Richard Smith, the special teams coach was saying, hey, we got a pretty good player here in Rod Smith. He's a wide receiver, but he plays very physically. Hits you like a linebacker.
1:15 remaining. Denver up by 15. Well, the Bills have to make the cross-country trek. They've got what amounts to a red eye now.
Yep.
All the way back to Buffalo, but they do get their next 2 games at home. And Bruce Smith's first game in Mile High is going to come to an unpleasant start. Here's Todd Collins, the number 2 draft pick and the backup quarterback for the Buffalo Bills, and he'll finish out the night. Out of Michigan, his first NFL pass to an old NFL veteran, Bill Brooks.
You know, I'm surprised a team that has the potential of being a playoff team has a rookie backup quarterback. Now, Marv Levy has done this once before in Kansas City at Fuller as a backup quarterback, but well, I think it's just too important to the season to have a rookie backing up Jim Kelly.
Here's Collins darting to his left. Down at the 21-yard line.
And he may well turn out to be a good player, but I think if Jim Kelly goes down, the Bills' season is over.
Well, they've got Collins and Alex Van Pelt. Kelly, of course, played 14 games last year, and he's been durable, but it's a risk. First and 10 behind Bill Brooks. Clock stop.
You mentioned durable. You know, we led the broadcast with the class of '83 quarterbacks, the guys that are still around, Marino and Elway and Kelly. These guys have not missed many games.
Well, take a look.
Yeah, well, 30 games they've missed in those years. I mean, those are remarkable numbers. The durability, just be able to be there every day, every Sunday and play, I think is remarkable.
Here's Collins back. Looks left, fires it, and it is caught.
Well, that thing had some smoke on it.
David Thomas, boy, it sure did.
Got there pretty quickly.
7-6, they may not get another playoff. They'll try and get one more. Snap is back. Final play of the ball game. And Copeland makes the catch. Collins has some pretty good numbers, and Mike Shanahan is a victor in his first game as the head coach of the Denver Broncos.
And boy, he knows when they're going to play those Raiders, doesn't he? He remembers when those Raider dates are on his calendar, on his schedule.
Said things are a little more close to what he'd imagined the head coaching position would be like here. And he said, by the way, they play Oakland here on a Monday night, the 16th of October. Shanahan's bunch wins it tonight, 22-17. That augurs well for the playoffs for the Broncos if history is...
Vince, thank you very much. And folks, the 5 most frequently heard words tonight: Elway's pass complete to Sharp. It happened 10 times tonight. Shannon Sharp joins me along with John Elway. Guys, I guess your first impressions now in the regular season of that West Coast offense got to be, oh yeah, we love it.
Well, we've been going in the right direction. I mean, we got an opportunity to we got in the red zone, but we didn't punch it in. Instead of those field goals, we like to have 7 instead of those 3s. But, we'll take the win, and that's the most important thing.
John, what did it tell you about this new system, and how did you feel on game 1?
Well, it was good. They're a good defensive football team. They can really put some pressure on you, and they did a good job up front. But, like Shannon said, we move the ball real well. When we get down there in the red zone, we got to put it in.
Let's talk about the first play right off the bat. You guys come out and hook up and try to set the tone right away. Take me through this, John.
Well, we got man coverage, and it was an audible, and I had Shannon on the corner, and the guy played him hard outside, and Shannon did a greght job of just turning it up, and I was able to get him the ball, and I was hoping he'd get in the end zone here, but we'll work on that.
In your face. So you say that was an audible. What did you plan to call on the first snap?
Oh, we had a little trap pass to the backside, and they gave us the defense we wanted. I had man with Shannon on the linebacker, and that's the perfect matchup.
You know, the guys in the booth, Pat Hayden and Vern Lundquist, were saying all night, you've got to get to the point now where the Bills are saying, do not let Shannon Sharp beat you. Are you surprised he kept working all night long, Shannon?
Yeah, it was. I mean, after a while, I thought they would start doubling me, but they left the same guy on me the whole night, and I knew I had to have a big game. I mean, that's what Mike told me. Said, they're going to play you man with the strong safety and the linebacker, and if you can beat those guys, you can make some big plays. And I dropped a couple of passes early, but John had a lot of confidence in me to keep coming to me.
Let's talk about your health. I mean, in the off season, both of you guys actually, surgery on both ankles. I mean, and what kind of feeling did that put in you coming into this season? Any uncertainty on your part, Shannon?
Well, not really, but once I got into the preseason and you know, the ankles didn't feel any better, I got a little concerned, especially as it got closer to the regular season. And even up until last week, you know, I was really concerned. But, you know, they felt better tonight. You know, I went to the game without taking the injection, so that's a step forward.
And, John, for all those people who thought, well, he's on his last knee, you got out of the pocket a few times tonight, man. You hit the corner a few times scrambling. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I got out there, like you said, got out, and I hope they keep thinking that because they're forgetting about my running ability.
You know, there was a fight in the stands here late in the game, at which point somebody said, there can't be a fight in the stands. The Raiders aren't here yet. Honestly, you guys, how much are you thinking about Week 7 and the Raiders in here on a Monday night when everybody says, you know, in the AFC West, that's the thing you got to worry about?
Well, I don't know how much, you know, John's thinking about it, but I'm thinking about Week 2 Dallas. I mean, we got to go on the road, and that's going to be a real true test for us because, you know, we 1-0, and it's a lot better going down there 1-0 instead of 0-1. We need a great week of practice, and, you know, we beat them in the preseason, but it's going to be a different story, I think, in the regular season, but we just have to play well.
You know, you have said in the preseason that you want to perform well for Sterling, who can't be there. That going through your mind when you took the field tonight?
Yeah, it was. You know, I thought about it all day. I saw him, you know, commentating, but you know, and I told him, I told him, I said, I want this season to be really special.
How do you think he did? How do you think he did?
He did okay. A little smart, you know, a couple of smart comments, but you know, that's like him.
How about this Dallas game finally, John? You take these guys in the preseason, which means that much?
Maybe not that much. But, you know, we played them here, and we have to go down there, and, you know, they're a great football team. So, you know, we're just taking them one at a time, and hopefully we can go down there and play well.
John Elway threw for 317 yards tonight. He hooked up 10 times with Shannon Sharpe for 180 yards. Nobody in the NFL did it better on day one than the duo right here to my left. Let's go back to Atlanta, Vince Cellino.
With their Grammy-winning rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner.